Yo, what's poppin', people? Cobra Star Green back with y'all in the video. Y'all first time finding my channel or anything like that, you got definitely subscribe button. Also today's video. Yo, today we will be reviewing the new movies, Minions, The Rise of Gru. Now, I remember talking to myself before the movie. I remember being like, why does this movie need to exist? And I thought about it for a quick second, and I was like, oh yeah, because Universal Elimination got all these other properties surrounded by Despicable Me and Minions.
Ladies and gentlemen, riding along with Gru, it's his much-loved daughters. You know who I'm talking about. Margot, Edith, and Agnes. And of course,
They gotta sell these goddamn toys. Because if you really think back and look at this movie, you're like, wow, they made a Despicable Me 1 and 2. Then they made the little Minions movie, and now we're getting another Minions movie, but in this movie, it is, like the title says, The Rise of Gru. Did we need this movie? No. I'm gonna be honest. This movie is nothing but to sell some goddamn toys, but that's what the rest of the movie's been about. And because I'm not even sure if Universal or something, or they have a contract or something like that, but yes, they have to keep this stuff going because they have attractions, like I said, toys. There's a lot of things they have to sell around the Minions and the Despicable Me. So I understand why these movies have to exist, right? I understand now, completely get it. But it still don't defeat the purpose of these movies. Don't need to exist, y'all. Like, I'm being completely honest. I know I ain't even got into the review yet, man. Look, these movies don't need to exist. And you could definitely see from this one, they're kind of running out of ideas a little bit. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. This is a spoiler review. I know I didn't really, I know I've already kind of talked about some stuff. But you know what? I'll talk about some things I like, some things I didn't like. But first thing about this movie, man, it's just like the rest of the other Minion movies. Like I said, spoiler review. Just like the other movies. You know, this movie is like the rest of them. They're straight up targeted for kids. You know, and with it being targeted for kids, you have some of those cliche jokes, but at the same time, you know, the movie is going to be a lot of fun. And I will say that it definitely keeps that component here. Whenever I sat down, like that's one thing I know when I'm going into a Minions or whatever movie, I'm going to have fun, you know? And the same thing was here, you know? So I'm definitely not mad about that. You know, I'm like, okay, as long as I can have fun, I won't mind being here. And like I said, the Minions movie did a really great job at upping the fun and just keeping the fun consistently going, you know? So I really do have to appreciate what they did there with the just the fun aspect. And like I said, this is targeted towards kids. Kids are gonna love this movie. Like, I walked out the theater and I saw a whole bunch of kids clapping and families happy. So yes, this is a family-oriented movie, and yes, you're gonna have fun watching it. Now another thing I'll say is that with this movie being called The Rise of, well, not this one, but The Rise of the person we all met throughout the first two movies, which was Gru. You get a smaller version of him. Here, let me actually find a picture of him. But you get the story of young Gru here. And he's still voiced by the same actor. I think his name is Steve. Somebody let me know his last name. You know, that's my fault. I gotta have these ready to go. But yeah, he's based by Steve. I think Cardo. I think I say his name. Let me make sure I got his name right. Yeah, no, Steve Carell. I think I say his name. And yes, he does a great job at voice acting Gru here. Again, he has the younger voice this time. But I think he did a really great job at voice acting Gru again. So I gotta give kudos to, you know, Steve in there, because Steve. The thing about Steve is he's always gonna bring his A game when it comes to acting out Gru as a character. So kudos to him once again. Now, another thing I want to say is they introduce these other characters you see in the movie. Sandra Bullock's in the movie. John Hamm, I think, is in the movie. Chris, Michael Keaton's even in the movie, I believe. Oh no, this is the wrong one. I'm about to say Michael Keaton. Like, Michael Keaton ain't no goddamn movie. But you have these cast members here that play these other little characters I'm about to show you guys right now. They play the villains in the movie, right? Well, they say Gru is a villain, but then they're like, but no, Gru, he wants to be like, well, this ain't the right photo, but he wants to be like these villains, you know, these are the worst of the worst type of villains, right? And Gru realizes like, damn, these people really don't like me like that. They like, oh, you just a kid, and what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You're too young for this. And Gru ends up stealing one of their artifacts that they stole, and that's how this whole entire chase goes down. They're trying to get this artifact back from Gru. And I really did enjoy. I'll say this all around. I really did enjoy the voice acting. You know, that's one thing I never can get mad about from a Pixar movie or a Pixar, even any animation movie. A lot of animation movies is that, man, they do a really great job at those certain aspects, man. Now, one thing I do gotta say is that this movie completely stops in the middle of the movie. This movie, no BS. Y'all think I'm lying? I go see the movie, but this movie completely stops in this middle of the film, and I have no idea why I did this, to give the minions a goddamn karate lesson. Now, yes, they end up using it in the third act to defeat the villains. But the movie completely stops what it's doing to spend like 10 to 15 minutes here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow, I thought the pacing was going really well until you introduce this. And we're stuck here forever, or we're stuck here for like 10 minutes. And I was just like, yeah, I don't look. I'm cool with them adding this aspect of the minions learning karate and stuff like that. But we don't need to spend 10, 15 minutes on this, you know? I didn't appreciate the movie completely stopped what it was doing to give us a goddamn karate lesson. But you know, one thing I will say about these movies though, and when you go into these movies, now look, if you're a parent taking a kid, you ain't gotta worry about one thing. And that's that these movies ain't long at all, boy. this movie, listen to me, this movie is like an hour and I think 25 minutes. And it didn't even feel like that. I'm not gonna lie, I did feel a little bit longer, but that's because of some of the pacing issues I was kind of talking about. Especially a big example was the karate part. But the movie is an hour and 25 minutes. There is like some end credit scenes, but they're not really nothing. And there even is one cool Easter egg in the movie. Like the cool Easter egg where they I gotta find him. I didn't think I was even gonna talk about this, but there's an Easter egg in the movie where we see a young version or a kid version. There's like they're in a bank, and I really thought this part was fascinating in the movie. But they're in a bank, and the bank is like, "Here's my son," and it's the villain of the first movie, man. Victor Perkins from the first movie, and I was like, "Oh crap!" I was like, "That's a really cool tie-in." You know, I really did it. I really did like that little Easter egg they showed us. Like I said, this movie is not long at all, and this movie they have a lot of those fun moments that yes, they're gonna make the kids go freaking crazy. You know, like yeah, people are gonna go crazy after those scenes. You know, there is another character I liked in the movie. I wasn't gonna bring him up. I ain't gonna lie, cause I don't think he's in the trailer. Cause I had no plans of bringing this guy up. But there is a certain character I think that was my favorite in the movie, aside from Gru, the young Gru. There's a guy, and he's like the first villain you meet. He's like pretty much like worse than all of them, pretty much. I gotta find out who he is. I gotta find exactly who voice acted him, because I don't even remember who voice acted him. But there's this older man, and he plays like he's like the father figure. Here, found him right here. The guy in the middle. I don't know exactly which one he's voice acted by. I want to say Jen Damain, but I don't know if that's him or not. So I'm not 100% sure. But he plays like the first villain you meet. That's pretty much worse than all these other motherfuckers. And I really liked what they did with him and Gru. Him and Gru ended up, because they had their own little subplot of them going off together. And I really did enjoy it because it was kind of like a father and son thing. It was like, wow, this is Gru looking up to his mentor right now, you know? So I really did enjoy that aspect. And I really did enjoy where those two were actually on screen. I think the chemistry was they really worked well together with those two. I'm not gonna go too deep on this review, honestly, because honestly I do gotta head out. I gotta go see the new Thor movie. You know what I'm saying? Thor: Love and Thunder. Gotta go see it. But you know what? I'll leave with this, man. If you've already stuck around and you've already watched the other Minion movies, you already know, pretty much what you're getting yourself into with these. You know these are gonna be fun movies, family-oriented movies, where you can take your family, your kids to, and you know they're gonna really enjoy their time, right? And as a parent, you're gonna be like, all right, it's time for me to take a good ass nap, you know. And yes, your kids will definitely be entertained throughout this entire movie, man. I was sitting next and heard a bunch of kids in the theater, and they were going crazy. They loved this movie, you know. So yes, I think this will definitely do well with kids, you know. Like this, like I said, perfect family fun movie. The hardest part I had to wrap my brain around is why this movie even exists, because it don't need to. But like I said, the only reason why this movie really exists is because Universal knows damn well they gotta sell some stuff. You know, they gotta sell stuff. But if you can look over all that, I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. Honestly, like I didn't think I would have as much fun as I did with it. Cause me, I usually hate these Minion movies because of the fact that I'm like, I'm like, why are we here? Why they keep making them? But I found myself actually laughing at certain aspects of this movie, and I was like, okay, that was funny. Okay, I see y'all doing that. That's clever. You know, and even there's those Easter eggs there hidden there. So yeah, I didn't think I liked it as much as I did. My rating though, I would think, if I'm not being biased or anything like that, I would think I would give this movie. I mean, it's nothing that's gonna blow you away. It's not something that's gonna be like, oh my god, and something you have to see again and stuff like that. No, I think this is just I would say this is a go see it. But you could take that with a grain of, take that as you will. I'm giving it a 7.5. Actually, I would say this is just a straight up rent it. I would say rent that, man. This is the rent that, man. Yeah, I was gonna say go see, but honestly, y'all could just rent this one, honestly. But I'm not gonna lie and act like I didn't have a good time in the theater. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. It was just like, it don't need to be here. We don't need to be here. But the movie ain't long. So hey, if it's your first time finding my channel, I do gotta go see Thor. Hit the subscribe button. Also the video, tell me your thoughts, complaints, criticisms, stuff like that down below. Hey, and we'll see you guys in the next one, man.